They said free the Palestinians, then celebrate the death of Native Indians. How these other races gon' take us serious? They don't. It's silly thinking you can fight oppression with a vote. I'm so woke, I got sleep deprivation. Belly of the beast giving birth to a nation. You know how I feel to have culture and they take it. It'll never be peace. Tell them free the reservation. Till it's backwards. They don't know that they exist no more. Ever try reaching out for help and you just get ignored. Pick up vices like drugs and child fill a void. They get a youth life sentence for killing. He was just a boy. Niggas poor, what we living for. Like the gamble is like 10 or 4. Police hands around your neck, they just hit record. We in war, man, this ain't the norm. But you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know. Mama on the stage crying. She just lost her only son to gang violence. Pops level 4 yard talking through the fence. Have you ever tried to hug your loved one through a fence? Have you ever been hated just because of skin? Have you ever worked all week and couldn't pay your rent? Like a sheriff trying to catch my balance. Every step like I'm walking backwards. Credit card, but God, check the balance. I come from where it's reference from my heart count. They want you to fall weak, that's a war tactic. Look how we live, what's scary in that? What you know about crossing the Darien Gap? Risk of life, live in hell, bury your kids. Either way, we gotta suffer and niggas get rich. Life is bitch, why I waste time telling you that? Cause if you ain't a nigga like me, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know.
He that loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. It's not what? It's not worthy of me. You're not worthy of God, man. That Christian pastor, he's a liar, man. That Catholic priest, he's a liar, man. And when are you going to wake up and smell the coffee? When are you going to stop being a child? When are you going to wake up and start acting like an adult and put away childish things, man? You are not to celebrate Mother's Day, man, if you really love your mother, man. You know what real love is? Saying, Mom, you ain't getting nothing on Mother's Day because I love God who gave you to me, man. I love him more than I love you. And I'd rather be in unison with God who can take my life at any time than you. That's real love, man. Keep reading. And he that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Goddamn, you can't even love your kids more than God, man. And that's the Bible. That's the truth, man. And listen, why would you want to love anything more than God, man? When the very breath you breathe comes from him, man.
All right. Testing. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. All right. Most high hand. Again, Tuesday night Brotherhood class. The water for tuning in. Shalom, Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, brought the thumb to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar. The thumb by Shem Yahweh to the sisters. We're going to get into it. Let's see. Hey, Shalom, Kodash. Shalom, sis. Let's see. Sister Asa. It's like if I said that wrong. What's going on, sis? All right. Yeah, a lot of tuning in. All right, let's get this in. So, just first and foremost, you know what I mean, as you see from the clip, we just got done getting past a day where people have pretty much gave acknowledgement to wicked women. You know what I mean? They gave acknowledgement to someone who probably was responsible for the reason why you probably didn't have your dad in your life. You know what I mean? Reason why you probably were exposed to sexual acts at a young age. The reason why you had no discipline, no correction. You know what I mean? Mother's Day. Mother's Day just passed by. We're not going to have a whole class about Mother's Day, but I just want to get into the spirit of Mother's Day. You know what I mean? First of all, the way that America has been bringing up these mothers these days has been completely wicked. You know what I mean? The system is completely turned against the men and given all rights for a woman to act emotional and control the foundation of the household, right? But we already know, you know what I mean, the Lord, his order is God, Christ, man, then woman in the household. So you got this our oppressors who have given women the say so to be able to destroy a black man's black Hispanic man's life. You know what I'm saying? And all within just a system that is built on destroying our people. You know what I mean? So we have Mother's Day that just passed by, and you know what I mean, a lot of people were being acknowledged for being the wicked person that they have been. I mean, a lot of black men are not able to be into their children's lives because the mother has a say so. You know what I mean? A lot of black men are not able to. I mean, if it doesn't pertain to you, then you know what I mean. Then this ain't got nothing to do with you. But you know, a lot of our sisters out here have been destroyed. A lot of women out here have been destroyed into having power to overthrow and destroy a man's life. Like you even got what is it? You got women making careers out of having children with men who have some type of success. You know what I'm saying? And they make careers out of it. They use their body as a business. You know what I mean? And if they can't get the child that they want or the contractual agreement, so-called marriage, you know what I mean, that they want, then they'll use other tactics like claiming to be abused and things of that nature. But you know what I mean, that's going too far down the rabbit hole. I'm just going to focus on pretty much what has been going on in this day, right? This day they call Mother's Day. First of all, it's not what even people think. You know what I mean? Like this day has a background to it. You know what I mean? Everything that you see that America brings to us, like a holiday or anything like that, has a deity that's backed up to it. You know what I mean? Has some type of fertility day or something like that, the Day of the Mother or something like that. Everything has a background to it. You know what I mean? Nothing is what they try to make it seem. It's always something that is behind the curtain. You know what I mean? That has something to do with idolizing false gods. You know what I mean? So that's just one thing. Now back to getting to the acknowledgement of these wicked beings. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of mothers out there were expecting to be acknowledged, regardless of how terrible they've been, regardless of how much they've destroyed their households, split up the households, everything that they've done, they still wanted acknowledgement. You know what I mean? They still expected acknowledgement that they are that they should be praised for being a mother. You know what I mean? A lot of women out here could have been mothers and are not mothers, but you know what I mean, they decided to take the route of disposing of the child. You know what I mean, unaliving the child. So you got to think like this is a completely wicked day, and it's no different than any holiday that our oppressors bring to us. It's a disgusting day because it's a lot of broken families out here. It's a lot of destroyed mindsets being portrayed out here because of the influence of the mother that raised them. You know what I mean? The drugs, and all these adult things that children shouldn't even be exposed to. These adult behaviors. A lot of mothers have introduced their children to these things, and yet they expect to be praised on this particular day just because of the fact that they decided not that this child was not going to be the one I go to the clinic for. This child is not going to be the one I dispose of in the baby blender. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Shalom Christ, I don't want Shalom Christ, Trooper Shakat, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to not dispose of this child. So I'm going to keep this one, but all the rest of them I'm going to do away with. But because I decided to choose for you to live, for you to survive this situation, you know what I mean? You should give me all things. I mean, let's disregard all of the other children who's been disposed of. You were one of the ones that made it. So let's praise me on this day. Like I said, it's a wicked day. It's a wicked day. You know what I mean? It's not too much to go into on that situation, but you know what I mean? The Lord doesn't want us to praise and to serve anyone but him. You know what I mean? The Lord wants us to acknowledge him. And even our people and our blacks and Hispanics can't even do that right. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to give the Lord acknowledgement. They don't know how to give the Lord to serve the Lord. And yet, you know what I mean, we've been brought up with these days of Mother's Day and Christmas and all these things like that. You know what I'm saying? The things that the Lord hates. Because the Lord hates idol worship. And you're worshiping idols, regardless if you see the man behind the mask or not, you are partaking in customs that are built to serve false gods. You know what I mean? So that's one thing within itself. Just a second. That's one of those very precepts. Let me see. Okay. But yeah. Hey, Shalom Lord Christ. Is it Leonard? Leonard Jr.? It's like it. Oh, okay. Yeah, Leonard Jr. Check it from Rancho Cucamonga. Oh yeah, Most High Christ. Oh yeah, definitely. That's right around the corner. It's definitely. But yeah, the Lord doesn't want us to serve these days. And not just that, you know what I mean, when you get into the details of it, you know what I mean, most of these mothers out here that are expecting things really ain't shit to begin with. It's like, you know what I mean, just destroy women who destroyed the household, ran off the father, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So serve the Lord. Show the Lord how much you love him by the way, just like I don't want to say it in the beginning clip, you know what I mean? I'm going to serve the Lord because the Lord can take my life at any moment. The Lord gives me life. If it was up to you, you would have aborted me. But because of the Lord's will, it's the reason I'm here. Now, if we left it up to you, I wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. I mean, I'd rather serve the Lord who gives me life than serve you. And who can take my life. Okay? All right. Where we at with it? Where we at? Okay, so yeah. Just wanted to get into that real quick. Definitely want to give Captain Sakawara a hand for his Thursday night lesson. It's something I wanted to tackle this week, but he already got into it with Adam and Eve. Very excellent breakdown. If you haven't seen that class, go back on the website or on the YouTube page and definitely watch that lesson. It's an incredible breakdown of Adam and Eve, and, you know what I mean, all types of stuff. Since I wasn't able to tackle the Adam and Eve situation, I can tackle the breath of life, right? So we're gonna get to the breath of life. Going into the book of Genesis, a lot of Christians believe that the Lord molded Adam out of dust and gave him breath, like blew within to the mold of dust, and it became flesh and bone, and it was a living soul. As we know, Genesis, it's a lot of allegory that's being spoken, just like in Revelations. Revelations is to reveal Genesis at the beginning, right? The breath of life is absolutely not a literal breath. You know what I mean? It is life, though. And what does that mean? It's the thing that makes you alive. It's not something that is done to you for you to be able to live. God doesn't actually come on earth and step in front of you and blow his breath in your face. You even see that in some churches. Like some churches, you'll see like pastors like going up and blowing his breath in the members' faces. They're fake pain. You know what I mean? All that is just all nonsense. Breath of life is not literal. It's something that is done, or that's something that you do in order to receive life. Now we're gonna get into what exactly it is. So in Genesis, you have to debunk. You have to be able to debunk what a Christian might say as far as God breathing into Adam and Adam becoming alive. So in their terms is that Adam was already a full male adult as he was made. He didn't receive any type of birth, no mother, no father, no growing into being a man. He just was. He was made and he was. That is not what the Bible explains. It's not what the Bible explains. Adam was already born. Adam already lived. And Adam received life because he received instruction. Okay? He was the first to receive instruction. That made him the first to be alive. Okay? Because instruction, law, order gives us life. Without it, we are the walking dead. So the breath of life is not an actual breath from God. It's instruction. Adam received instruction from God. Adam was born. Adam had parents. Adam had a childhood. Adam grew into a man. I mean, people existed before Adam. There were people on earth, but were they living physically? They were alive, but they weren't living. Why? Because they didn't have instructions that the Lord has for us. The Lord gave us instructions on how to live, what to eat, what to do. Adam received those instructions. What clean foods there are. What can you eat that's clean? What things of that nature. Okay, this is what was given to Adam. Adam was the first to receive instruction. Okay, so we got to get out of that mindset of thinking that the beginning story all started with a fully developed man, and he just popped up out of nowhere because I mean that's what Christianity implants into our brains. We call that the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? because it's a lie. It's a lie. Because man was made before Adam. So, and every day unto the Lord is like 1,000 years, which just means a span of time, a long span of time. So there was already men on earth, men, women, there was cities while Adam was alive. Cities were around him. You know what I mean? That's why when Cain killed Abel, he fled to a city and found a wife. Okay. So we have to really understand the truth about the book of Genesis, because everything that our oppressor has given us, he took everything literal. He takes everything literal. You can't. An oppressor has the hardest time understanding the lyrics in our music. Why? Because we always speak in a term of allegory. We're always speaking in metaphorically or some type of way like that. But our oppressor, they can't get it right off the bat because they don't have our swag. They don't think like us. They don't have our vibe. I mean, they don't have our zeal. So they'll have problems or issues being able to comprehend how we speak. When we walk around saying, "What up, dog?" We're not actually talking about a dog. We just say, "Oh, use a rat." We're not talking about a rat. You know what I mean? We're speaking in a way that we understand, but it's in terms of like allegory. You know what I mean? So the same thing goes within Genesis as well. Our oppressor took it literally. Our oppressor really thought that snakes talk. Our oppressor really thought that the breath of life was just God breathing air into a pile of dust. You know what I'm saying? So this is what our people as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to understand. The Bible speaks to the same way that we speak on our day-to-day basis. The Bible speaks the same way that we communicate we outside of the professional field. We socialize. You know what I'm saying? This is how the Bible speaks. Hey, Shalom on Christ. That's what's going on. But yeah, so we have to have an understanding about that. When you are reading the book of Genesis, you can't take everything literal, because that's like saying that everything that you read in Revelations, you got to take everything in that literal. So our oppressors pick and choose what they want to take literal in the Bible and do away with the stuff that wouldn't make any sense and wouldn't be realistic to them. You know what I mean? Because they have a far-fetched imagination. You know what I mean? Once you start to believe that snakes can talk, then it's like, okay, you know what I mean? That's some cartoonish type of stuff. That's like some childish, like Disney movie type stuff. You know what I mean? So all oppressor, they have that type of imagination where they thinking, okay, well, the snake is talking. Oh, well, what else is there? Oh, yeah, there was actual dust and it became the human. You know what I mean? But we have to understand the Bible speaks the way that we speak. So Adam coming from the dust of the ground just means he came out of a low state. You know what I mean? And then he received instructions, and those instructions gave him life. That's the breath of life. We're going to prove it with the Bible. We're going to prove it with scriptures. Right? So let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. Baruch 4 and 1. The book of Baruch, in chapter 4 and verse 1, it says, This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. So, you know what I mean? That's just a sum up of a lot of things in just one little tiny sentence. You know what I mean? It says, this is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth for how long? Forever. And to the New Testament, forever. You know what I mean? This is what a lot of people need to understand. Forever, especially for just for a time span that we think of, but we thinking that this is the Lord's words. So that the law will always be. There is no doing away of the law. You know what I mean? That's one of those precepts for it too. There is no doing away with the law. The law, the book of Baruch says that the law is here forever. It's going to be here forever. So don't allow some disgusting preacher to tell you different and say that we're not supposed to follow the law. That's what the Pharisees did. And they, you know what I mean? Like just a whole bunch of nonsense. Hey, Shalom of Christ, that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the Pharisees did. We're not supposed to follow the law. That's what the heresies did. Don't listen to them. You know what I mean? You are supposed to follow the law. You're just supposed to follow the law in the right way. You're supposed to do what the Lord says and follow what the Lord says, but do it in the right way. And the only place you're gonna find out how to do that in the right way is here in ISUPK. All right. So all they that keep it shall come to life. Now, in order to be able to keep something, you have to be alive, right? I mean, get with me. You don't come out the womb just following the law. You have to be corrected. You have to be instructed on how to follow the law, right? Once you get that into your mind, your spirit, and your zeal becomes the law, then you become alive. Now you're living. Now you know that who your enemies are. Now you know that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now you know that I'm not supposed to eat pork. Now you know that I'm supposed to be a brother to amongst my fellow brethren. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to treat my brothers the way I would want to be treated. I'm supposed to love God with all my heart, with all my soul. You know what I'm saying? And I can't love God if I'm doing the things that he tells me not to do. I can't love God if I'm celebrating Mother's Day. I can't love God if I'm celebrating Christmas. I can't love God if I'm celebrating Halloween and all these things of that nature. I can't love God if I'm saying, oh yeah, well, I'm not perfect, I'm a sinner, and yet, you know what I mean, the Lord's still gonna love me. It says, hey, Shalom of Christ, I don't know what's going on. What does it say? White is the enemy. Okay, so if you read Obadiah, right? Obadiah tells you about the nation of Edom. The nation of Edom is an enemy to the Lord. The nation of Edom was made to be hated, was made to be an example of what happens to a particular nation when they despise God's people, when they despise the Lord's law. You know what I'm saying? When they despise order. Hey, Shalom of Christ, y'all, what's going on? So when we say white, we're not saying as far as colorism. We're talking about the nation of Esau. We're talking about the nation of white people. We're talking about Europeans. We're talking about Jewish. We're talking about Irish. We're talking about, you know what I mean, anything you could correlate a white race to. The caveman, you know what I'm saying? The ones who dwell from the rocks. That's who we're talking about. Because those people have a destiny. They have a prophecy that needs to be withheld within the Bible. And they're withholding that prophecy being over us, putting us in slavery, putting us through hundreds of years of captivity and oppression and abuse and unaliving. But they have a destiny of judgment that needs to happen. So when we say we hate, what does it say? White is the enemy. It says white is the enemy throughout the whole Bible. And we're not talking about the color of someone. We're talking about what they describe themselves as today. Really, they're the nation of Esau. So yeah, if they call themselves white, I don't care if they call themselves blue. I don't care if they call themselves purple. They are the nation of Esau, and they are the enemies of God. How do you know what nationality comes from Esau? Okay, so this is a very easy question because it's not hard to tell who your enemy is. It's hard for our people to realize who our enemy is. It's not hard to tell who who is oppressing who. It's not hard to see who's the violent one, who's the one who hates who. You know what I mean? It's all these questions about why should we hate, or why do we feel this way towards Esau or white people, and not no questions of why they've done to us the things that they've done. Why did they put us in slavery? Why did they beat our mothers in front of us? Why did they beat our fathers in front of us? Why did they buck break? Why did they tear the limbs off our people? Why did they force us to eat the most disgusting things that we could think of? You know what I mean? That should be the main question. It's always about, you know what I mean, why is it white? It's not hard to tell who Esau is. That's just one thing. But the Bible explains specifically who Esau is. You know what I mean? You could just get it through prophecy, just like you can get through prophecy who Israel is. Because it says, you know what I mean, what does it say? That we're in mourning at right now. And who else is in mourning other than Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? You know what I'm saying? Who else is in mourning? I'm just going off of prophecy alone. History will tell you who Esau is, just by history alone. But I'm just going off of prophecies that are written without the book, the biblical stance of what and all oppressors have done to us, to where they're at today, to where their nation is at today. Being is that they're falling at the moment. Being is that we are getting closer to the time of the arrival of our king. You know what I'm saying? So it's not hard to tell when you can just go by prophecy and know who Esau is, who Jacob is. You just go by prophecy. But history also can tell you. You know what I mean? And white people are the devil that the Bible speaks of, for sure. But yeah, that more so should be the question. Why has white people done to us the things they've done to us, and yet put us so far below in society, never gave us a handout, never helped us, and also can, through all of that winning, still hate us? You know what I mean? Through all of that oppression and keeping us on the bottom, still have a hatred towards us. We're not even a threat. And yet they still look at us as the main threat to them. Why is that? Because that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way that prophecy is supposed to be. You know what I mean? That's the way that prophecy works. Their hatred is they hated us within the womb. Okay, so it's not something that is just going to diminish if we start playing buddy with the people who have done wrong to us for so many years. I mean, it's not going to benefit us at all. They're not going to change. Their hatred is not going to fall apart. They're going to continue to keep on oppressing us. They're going to continue to keep us on the bottom. They're going to continue to keep on unaliving us. And they're going to continue to keep on using us as an example of that we are beneath them. You know what I'm saying? There are many nations oppressed by others. Look at Palestine. Palestine has a nation. They have a country. You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, we don't have our place of dwelling. Everything that we've been able to have, we've been taken away from us and robbed from us. So you have a name called True Familiar. Are you Hispanic? Because you can be black or Hispanic and still be white. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually. And it seems as if you got a pretty white spirit if you have these type of questions to want to, like, how can you even, this is what I'm saying, how can you even compare the oppression that Blacks, Hispanics have been through to Palestine, to other nations? How can you compare it? I'm trying to find out. Okay, so you're Mexican. So how can you try to compare the oppression that Blacks and Hispanics have went through to what Palestine is going through? Or we can even say Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you compare it? How can you compare the two? That's what I'm trying to find out. Really, okay, let's just get down to it. Really, you just love white people. That's it. You love white people. Because if I was talking about Islanders, it wouldn't be an issue. I was just talking like, oh yeah, Islanders this and that, and Islanders this and that. It wouldn't be a problem. But because talking about your pops, which is the white man, that's why it strikes a nerve to our people, and we feel like we need to cape for people who would never cape back for us. You know what I mean? They would never cape back. You should have seen how white people got together when OJ trial came along. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are going to stick together. They are fine. Other countries have different issues. We're not talking about issues. We're talking about oppression. Here in us is that it's here in us. It's that way. Okay, so like I was saying, we're not talking about issues in countries. We're talking about oppression. We're talking about being stripped away from your identity. We're talking about being stripped away from your families, being put on a chop block and being sold to a plantation to be there for hundreds of years. Where do you see that happening in Palestine? That's what I'm asking. I speak only of USA. Okay. Well, I mean, you can say that. You can say that. Our people are being oppressed all four corners of the earth. I don't know what you're talking about. Not only are the world is being oppressed right now. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's getting a taste of what blacks and Hispanics has been going through for hundreds of years right now. You know what I mean? Prices are all the way through the roof. People can't find jobs. People can't find places to live. Homelessness is all the way through the roof. But these are small issues compared to the things that blacks and Hispanics have been through. You know what I mean? So what you're saying, like I said before, you have a love for Esau, and you love who God doesn't love. No, even the history of other countries, it does not match up to what blacks and Hispanics have been through. You know what I mean? That's a fact. Out of the millions of people who died during the transatlantic slave, the millions of people who died during the Trail of Tears, like, you're trying to compare all of that unaliving to war for territory? Yeah, that's a shame, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you probably really you need some help, because the way that you cape for other people or try to make the way that the fact that you can be Mexican and feel like that the oppression that you've been through, you know what I mean, or your people have been through, is different from is the same as what a Palestinian goes through is insane to me. That's insane. You know what I mean? War for oil, war for territory, and all that stuff like that is not the same as oppression. You know what I mean? Like, anywho. Yeah, but yeah, that's fine. You love Esau. You love who the Lord doesn't love. You know what I mean? And you want to cape for them. So either way, you know what I mean? Justice is coming to those who have done wrong to the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. But yeah, you can't about Somalia. Like I said, Somalia, Palestine, whatever country you want to bring up has not been oppressed the way that blacks and Hispanics have been oppressed. You know what I mean? We're not just talking about America. We're talking about the Spaniards in Mexico. We're talking about freaking Haiti. We're talking about Dominican Republic. All these different places of the Europeans coming and destroying our people. You know what I mean? Destroying our families. And to this day, they continue to keep destroying us. So all these things that you're trying to compare to, like, wrongs that have been done to different countries is never, ever going to compare to the life that's been taken and the wrongs that's been done to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's a fact. That's a pure fact. We'll go to Romans 9:3, 9:13. Let me see. Look at Romans chapter 9 and verse 13. It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. So the fact that God hates Esau, is God unrighteous for hating Esau? Is God unrighteous for hating the white man, especially from what they have done to us? Is he wrong for that? Of course, yet her treacherous sister Judah did not fear. Okay, so I'm assuming, okay, we got a lot of white people up in the chat. One of the white people, they just posted Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 8, but they did not read chapter 3 and verse 15. When God said that he was going to make a divorce with Judah and Israel, but also within that same chapter, God sits there and says that he's going to remarry onto Isaac and onto Judah, onto Israel and onto Judah. So what are you talking about? Keep reading, white man. You know what I'm saying? But let's read Romans 9 and verse 13 again. As it is written, this pertains to you. You should probably listen to this. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So the things that white people have put blacks and Hispanics through, this is going to be an example that God loves blacks and Hispanics way, like he loves them more than, not even more. He loves them, period, than all other nations on the earth. And the other nations he has not known. They're like spittle to him, like the drop of a bucket. You know what I mean? And you can't say that the Lord is unrighteous for not loving other nations and for hating Esau. You know what I mean? You can't say that he's unrighteous because look at what they've done. Look at what they've done since they've been at rule. Look at how they treated the Lord's chosen people. Look at how they put us through all of these excruciating things, these just unbelievable things. Look at what they've done to us. Look at what they continue to do to us. A black boy can have a toy gun and they'll still shoot that black boy down the street because he's a threat. You know what I mean? But little white boys can have a real gun and be ready to shoot, ready to go at it and go ready to shoot anybody that comes in their direction, and yet they'll get the mercy of having their lives. You know what I mean? That's good. All oppressors can give their people mercy because the God of the Bible is going to give, like we just read, he's going to give Israel mercy. And like you should keep reading on Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 8, because you posted 3 and 8 as if that chapter does not say in 15 all the way down that the Lord is going to remarry unto Israel and unto Judah. So what you will try to do in the chat was try to become a devil and take one little portion out of that chapter and make it as if we don't know what we're talking about. We know exactly what we're talking about. We are the priests and prophets of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And you posted Proverbs 6 and 16. We could read it, but we could read it. I could. You don't, but okay. All right. Well, I could keep entertaining you. I could. All right. Like I said, God hates Esau. And he's not unrighteous for hating Esau. And Esau is the white man. And the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Brother, if you want to love him, go ahead and love him, brother. We're going to get back to these precepts. I got a couple more precepts I want to do for the breath of life, and we'll take it from there. But you and Gustavo Fring, y'all can both get together and y'all can sing Kumbaya and you know what I mean, and pray that the Lord will save Gustavo. All right, let's keep going. What do we end off at? We did Baruch 4:1. Now we're going to go to the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24. Right now, very important thing: the breath of life. Right, the breath of life is the law, which we just read in Baruch. I mean, it's law and instruction, and the law and instruction was only given to Israel. Okay. Now, the people who only can accept the breath of life is Israel. I want to make that very, very clear. You know what I mean? Israel is the only one who can receive the law. Israel is the only one that can receive instruction, and no other nation is able to have that. Matter of fact, we just read Romans 9 and 13. Let's go up to Romans 9 and 3. It says, "For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh." According to the flesh, who are Israelites, right? Verse 4, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption into the new covenant, the new promise that the Lord wants for us, not for everybody. You know what I mean? A white man can't get adopted into the new covenant because he wasn't part of the old covenant. How would you receive adoption if he was never part of it, right? Who received the adoption and the glory and the covenants being the promise. We promised that we were going to receive instruction from the Lord, and we were going to have that way of living. And the giving of the law, there it is, and the service of God and the promises. So promises are only for Israel. You know what I mean? So I just want to, before we get back into the teaching of the breath of life, we got to make that very clear. Gustavo, this has absolutely nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? True, you can go ahead and go with Gustavo. Matter of fact, you know what I mean? Since you got a spirit of a white man and you want them to be saved so bad, you should probably go with him. You know what I mean? Because what we just read in Romans 9 and verse 3 all the way down to 4 is that Israel is the only one that pertains to the adoption and the law and the instruction, the breath of life. That's what we just read, right? So let's get back to the breath of life. Let's have to make that clear. Where we at now? Okay, let's go to the Wisdom of Solomon. Back into the breath of life. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24. Okay, so the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24, it says, "For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reasons of her pureness." Oh, one. Let me make sure I have the right one. I think that's the wrong scripture slide in. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 52 and 1. Isaiah 52 and 1. Oh, yeah. Isaiah 52 and 1, it says, "Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. Shake thyself from the dust. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion." So this is pretty much talking about what Esau tries to explain the dust being. Remember, I said that Christianity and Esau, they try to teach that the dust is like literally like a pile of dust. You know what I mean? Like a pile of dust that the Lord gave breath of life into, and then it became flesh and bone and blood. That's not what's going on. The dust is just a low estate. The Lord is saying, shake off that dust in that precept. Shake off yourself from being in a low estate and rise up. And this is what blacks and Hispanics need to understand. The kingdom is not of observation. We're not here to sit back and just to watch and wait for Christ to return. We have to start establishing the kingdom and provoke the Lord's hand now. You know what I mean? We have to take the breath of life, take the law, the commandments, and do them. And we have to live our lives serving the Lord in the right way, and not the way that that Esau wants us to do, not the way that the Christian church wants us to do, the way that the Lord made for us to do within these scriptures. We have to do those things, you know what I mean, in order to provoke the Lord's hand to destroy this place. Because at the end of the day, it's never going to be our rest. I don't know what True was talking about. You know what I mean? They're making it seem as if other people had it as bad as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's insane. You know what I mean? And that's why our people need to be very, very zealous when it comes to being separate, being holy, being amongst ourselves. You know what I mean? Loving brothers the same way that you would want to be loved. You know what I'm saying? Loving your people. This is why these things are important, because obviously Esau has enough of our people that come and vet for them as soon as we got anything to say about them. As soon as we start to bring out the truth about how wicked they are, what type of people they really are, our people will come and vet for them right off the bat. So they got enough of our people. So we have to love ourselves in order to show that we're capable of being loved. Because the only reason that our people go and commute and tend to Esau is because we feel like that's where true success is at. That's where true love is at. That's where the love of God is at, because the God is supposed to love everybody, and yet they hate themselves and hate their people. You know what I mean? The same people who will sit there and say, oh, God loves everybody, will be the same ones that walk on the corner and shoot their brothers dead on the street. Will be the same ones that go sell their brothers or sisters drugs. They'll be the same ones that go out and whore out their sister and then just leave her and do away with her. You know what I'm saying? And yet they sit there and say that God loves everybody, but we can't even learn how to love our own people. And yet you want to love Esau so much that you'll vet for him, and you'll be a voice to the voiceless, just because Esau don't even got to say nothing. They don't even have to do nothing. They got enough of us to go out and go vet for him. This is the problem with our people, because we don't know how to love each other. We don't know how the law is the law that the Lord gave us is love for our brothers. When you don't sleep with your brother's wife, you love the Lord. You love your brother. You know what I'm saying? When you don't sell drugs to your brother or sister, you love that brother or sister, because you're not willing to go and destroy their lives for your gain. You know what I'm saying? When you love your people, when you love the people who are of you, of your nation, of your family, you know what I'm saying? Like, blacks and Hispanics are literally trained to hate each other. You know what I'm saying? That's biblical too. But our mindset is that we are the enemies, and the white people, they're the ones that love us. After everything they've done to us throughout history, history literally speaks for itself. All the wrong that they've done for us, you really think that you're going to share a heaven forever with the same person who sat there and sexually assaulted your grandmother? You know what I'm saying? You think you're going to share a heaven with them? You know what I'm saying? The same person that buck broke in your great-great-grandfather. You know what I'm saying? You think you're going to share a heaven with them, who ripped our people to pieces. It's so much different records. That's what people need to do. They need to look into history and really see how wicked our oppressors could be. You know what I mean? Look at the detailing of the things they've done to us. You know what I mean? There was one time, it's plenty of books out there, there's plenty of research out there that show you all the wicked things that our oppressors are willing to do. And you think that person is still willing to make it into heaven. It's insane. You think that person, you're going to sit next to that person, and all is forgiven. And y'all going to praise and sing and dance forever in white turbans. It's not what's going to happen. The Lord is a man of war. In order to have war, you have to have enemies. And it's not unrighteous for him to have an enemy. Lord can't be a man of war if he loves everybody. It doesn't make any sense. If he loves everybody, he can't be the man of war. The Lord has enemies, and those enemies he will destroy. Oh yeah. Gustavio, whatever his name is, he gonna see his day. You know what I mean? And that's what brings a chill to Esau so much, because it's like, dang, they know for a fact they really deserve it. They know what they say about blacks and Hispanics when them doors is closed and can't nobody hear them. They amongst their families. Look into it. They know they are wetback this and nigger that all day. Oh, you acting like a nigger. Oh, you better not go up amongst the pack of niggers. That's Mel Gibson, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Who is Amalek? You know what I'm saying? You better not go amongst those pack of niggers. Yeah, that's how they talk. I mean, we're nothing but livestock and animals to them. And Gustavio know it, whatever his name is, whatever his name was. He know it because he does the same thing. So when he got True over there vetting for him, he gonna call True a spick as soon as he log off. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the way it goes. Our oppressor hates us. And they try to play this little forgiveness game just so we can protect and protect them from obvious vengeance that needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? But there is no protection. The Lord's going to get his vengeance, regardless of whoever like it or not. You see the signs. You see the way the nation is falling. You see the tariffs happening. You see the bombs being blown up. Oh, yeah, it's cooking in the pot right now. That pot is boiling right now. You know what I'm saying? That pot is boiling. All these different elements is all in that pot, just all boiling up right now. It's gonna be a nice, beautiful sight to see this place get destroyed, because the blood of our ancestors are within the soil of this place. You know what I mean? The bones of our ancestors is all in the bottom of this place. They have literally obliterated us. You know what I'm saying? Like, they damn near created genocide on our native indigenous brothers. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think, this person that could be the cause of a genocide, he gets heaven, he gets to die and go to heaven, he gets forgiven. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. Hey, Shalom says what's going on. So yeah, our people, we definitely need to get together. Our people need to understand this Bible. You know what I'm saying? Our people need to understand this book. You get it? We need full-on understanding that this is the book of our pioneers. This is the book of our culture. This is the book of our future. And this is the book of our past. You know what I'm saying? And learn from it. Learn from the things that you've been through in the past. Don't read the book thinking that, okay, these are just foreign people that don't have no ties to me. No, these are your great-great-grandma, your great-great-grandfather. Like, you know what I mean? You got to learn from the mistakes that our people have done. And we continue to make those mistakes because we continue to keep trusting our oppressors, to have trust in our oppressors. We did so in the days of Moses. They built the golden calf. You know what I mean? We did so in the days of Noah. You know what I'm saying? When they sat over there and the world was so wicked that, you know what I mean, only 8 people can be saved. So Pete, our people need to wake up. Our people need to literally get out of the mindset of thinking that there is hope for the hopeless. Our oppressors are hopeless. It's set in stone by the Lord himself that they will receive judgment. To try to cape and save them makes you an enemy to God. If God says, Esau have I hated, and I'm not unrighteous for hating them, and you try to go back and say, no, it's not, you shouldn't hate them, then you're going against God. You're an enemy to the Lord. So maybe you should check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because there is no scriptures that says that there will be hope for our oppressor. There'll be hope for Esau. There'll be hope for the white man. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's going to receive the payments of everything that he's done to all of our people throughout all these generations. You know why? Because the Lord does not forget. You might want to forget. You might want to forgive, but the Lord is not going to forget. The Lord is not going to forgive, and he's going to do unto them the same thing that he's done to oppressors who all put their hands on God's chosen people. With that, we're going to say shalom. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathum to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Latham Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. I'm going to get that precept that I missed out on in Wisdom of Solomon. I'll just bring it out on Tuesday. It's a login. But there's a couple more precepts too with the breath of life. But I got to go. So we'll get into it. But the water to y'all for tuning in, the water for y'all in the chat. Except for Gustavio, whoever the name is, you can stay about my goddamn chat. It's lock here. But other than that, I mean, hey, what's on Christ? Come on.